Microphone. Hi, we're live. I don't know why I'm leaning into you, but hi, I'm glad to see you. We're going to talk about house sitting today. I house sat in New Orleans, July 1st through the 20th. So we're going to talk about what it was like house sitting during a global pandemic. I think that house sitting is social distancing and quarantine friendly because you can do it and stay to yourself. So we're going to talk about why, how. We'll also talk about what steps I took to protect myself and to protect my parents, coming back home to them. And we'll talk about some things that I did wrong, some things that I wish I had done differently, so that for my next house sit, I'll be even better off. So we're going to talk all about it. So say hi. Let me know that you're here. Say hi in the chat. And we'll go ahead and talk all about house sitting. This live stream is going to be a little bit shorter today for me because Audacity is doing their part 2 of their online festival. Audacity Fest is the festival that I spoke at last year about house sitting. It's a travel festival for Black and brown travelers or travelers of color. And they're doing everything online this year. And they're talking about the Barbados remote worker visa. So you may have seen some posts online this week. Barbados has a visa for remote workers. Right now, it's not open to Americans, but it will be once pandemic stuff is cleared out. So I'm excited to go to Audacity Fest this afternoon online and learn about that. So we're going to be a little quick today. Plus, I talk about house sitting all the time. If you have questions for about house sitting, now's the time to ask. So say hey and let's go. Hi, Ro. Okay, Ro says the first time catching me live. I'm glad. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And Jadimuso, I'm sorry if I'm not getting that right. Welcome. So if you have questions about house sitting, now's the time to ask. Every time we go live, I'm wiping for some reason. Today, I was like, I'm not going to be wiping sweat because it's not hot in here. But this time it's water because I decided to dampen my hair down. And so I'm still dripping water. So I'm always wiping something. I'm sorry. I tried. Hi, Saren. Okay. So first, let's just talk about, and like I said, leave your questions. If you're watching the replay, leave your questions in the comments. I answer questions. I do. But if you're here in the chat, leave your questions in the chat. So first, we'll just talk about New Orleans. When I went to New Orleans, I arrived on June 30th. I knew that they were in phase 2 of their lockdown. A lot of restaurants and bars were either closed or open for delivery only, or were open at 25% maximum capacity. But because it was July, the very beginning of July, they did have a lot of travel, a lot of tourists come in for 4th of July weekend, it seemed like, according to the flight stuff. Hi, Cynthia, welcome. So according to my flight, which was full, coming and going, people were traveling to New Orleans. So that was, it was like quiet for New Orleans, but not quiet. You know what I mean? It was quieter, but not dull and dead. But I happened to stay. I happened to stick around and stay in the house is what I'm saying. Jadamuso, can you tell us how we can send you a love gift? You can Cash App me if that's a thing. Cash App. I'll leave my cash tag. It's S Perry. What is it? $ S Perry 302. That would be very nice. I appreciate that. Thank you for asking that. So that's my Cash App. My PayPal, I don't know what it is, but I can find out. I can tell you. I drink coffee, so if anybody wants to buy me a coffee, I'd appreciate it. Good question, Saren. So because New Orleans was on that phase 2, I wasn't expecting things to be as full as they were. The flight is one of the things that I did wrong about traveling during a pandemic. I wish I had just driven. Like I would have felt better driving for 2 days than I felt sitting on that airplane for 3 hours. The flight I flew from Philadelphia to Dallas, and then Dallas to New Orleans. The Philadelphia to Dallas flight was overbooked. They were, it was overbooked. Every seat was full. And then, it just, I don't know. I thought ahead. I thought I had thought ahead, but then when I got on the plane, I realized like I'm at the mercy of all these people, right? Because they're guaranteed, there's like 10% of the people on this plane who don't even think COVID-19 is a real thing, right? 10% of these people on this plane probably think it's a hoax anyway. So who knows what kind of shenanigans they have been into. Some of these people, somebody on this plane probably is already showing symptoms. And I'm just sitting on this plane trusting in my mask. Okay, so I will admit to you that I regret flying. I do. Even though I got there with no problem and I came home with no problem, it was not the best choice. So I will be doing some more house sits this summer, but I won't be flying. And I mean, yeah, I was going to say unless like, unless like a super amazing house sit pops up and I have to fly to it. But I think I would just turn that down. I won't be flying for the rest of the summer. I didn't like it. I don't like being at the mercy of these people because that's really the first time that I have seen people in my face and have thought like, what are these people doing? Because I've been in the house. Me and my mom, I've been in the house all spring and all the early summer. So I didn't, I haven't been confronted with people who like don't take the protection of other people seriously. So the flight thing was the thing that I underestimated. I underestimated the potential dangers. So that was that. But when I landed in American Airlines, every seat was full for the first flight going from Dallas to New Orleans. The flight was not full and I had a row to myself, but that wasn't because American Airlines was operating on, lower capacity. It's just because not that many people had bought tickets for that particular flight. It wasn't for our safety. They gave us a little baggie with stuff. There was no cart service during the flight, so things were different. And they did come around and check and make sure people were wearing masks. I saw a flight attendant tell the person to put the mask over their nose because they had it down. So they did do that as far as that's concerned. I'm very sure that my seat didn't get wiped down. I wiped my seat down myself. When I got on the plane, a woman was sitting in my seat. And so she got up and moved to her correct seat. And I wiped the seat down, with my wipes, I think I have them right here on the dresser. No, I don't. So anyway, y'all know what wipes are. I wiped my stuff down, but I'm fairly certain that even if she hadn't already been in my seat, I still would have had to wipe it down because I'm sure that they don't wipe down every seat. I don't know what they're doing, but being at the mercy of an airline and a bunch of strangers just didn't sit well with me. When I got to New Orleans, I had planned not to take public transportation. I always take public transportation. If they have a metro or a cheap bus into town, I always take it. And I feel like, look at me saving money. But I didn't do that this time. I felt like it wasn't a good idea for me to be on public transportation after just getting off this plane, because who knows what I'm carrying with me because of all the other people that I've just come in contact with. So I took Lyft, right, which is still not... It's not like I rented my own car and drove myself there, but I took a Lyft and, the driver had a mask on and driver took me to the house sit. When I got to the first house sit, the lady was there. So I tried to convince her to be already gone when I got there because she was going to stay at her boyfriend's house the night before. She wasn't going to, I came in the night before, so she wasn't going to sleep there. So I tried to convince her to go to his house before I got there. And I even stalled. I tried to stall at the airport, but the restaurants in the New Orleans airport were closed. Like New Orleans airport was a ghost town. I came in at 6:30 p.m. and you would have thought it was 3 a.m. Like no Starbucks open, no coffee shop, no sandwich. Like you're not getting food in this airport. That was then. When I flew out, things were open. But when I flew in, nothing was open. So I couldn't stall her. So we met at her house. She's a nurse, so she was wearing a mask, and I was certain that she had wiped everything. She told me she had wiped everything down, and I went back through, and she had wipes in the pop-up container, and she had wipes in the little other kind of container, and she had spray disinfectant, and she had all kinds of stuff. So I went back through and cleaned all of the handles and, just the stuff that you touch, countertops, doorknobs, the refrigerator and the microwave handle, So I went through and wiped all of that stuff down. But she was just insistent that she meet me. Sometimes it's like that with people with dogs because they're just nervous, especially people with big dogs. She had a big or medium big pit bull. You know how pit bull owners are extra sensitive to other people being afraid of them. Her pit bull was the world's biggest baby, which a lot of pit bulls are. But she was insistent that she be there to meet me. We kept our masks on. I changed masks after I got off the plane, and then I'm pretty sure I changed again when I got out of the lift because I was fumbling with it because she was walking the dogs down the street, and I saw her when we pulled up to the house. So I was fumbling, trying to put a clean mask on. But so she came and showed me around, but we kept masks on. We stayed apart, maybe not 6 feet apart, but we stayed apart. So I tried my best to, hi, Adelia. Hey, Ms. Hurricane. You're Katrina, too. We got the Katrinas in the house. Hi, Katrina and Katrina. So I tried my best. So that was the beginning of the house sit situation. So I got in there, and I feel like I get a C for that part of the house sit. Again, my hair is dripping. I know I'm always wiping stuff, but my hair is dripping. It's not sweat this time because it's a nice cool day here in Delaware. This time it's water from my hair. So that's what I did well. That's what I did not well. The things that I did not do well, I flew, and I forgot that other people were going to be on the plane. I don't know. I forgot that I was going to be at the mercy of all these other passengers. And then I met the first house sitting client face to face. So those are the things that I did poorly. But I would still give myself a C. I wore my mask. I washed my hands a lot. I sanitized. I wiped down things. I stayed away from people. But I would give myself a C for that. Once I got into the house sit and the lady left, A+. From then on, I think I get an A+. I didn't go to the grocery store, which is not like me. I love grocery shopping. When people talk about complaining about going to the grocery stores, I can't relate. I love going to the grocery store. Didn't go to the grocery store for 10 days. So the CDC kind of changed their requirements, So I think it's 10 days now, not 14 days after you fly. So I didn't go to the grocery store or a restaurant or anything for 10 days. I walked the dogs around the neighborhood, and we took a ton of pictures. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw my stories. Because the homes down there were beautiful. I stayed in a beautiful neighborhood. And I just stayed away from people. I got food and groceries delivered. So that was great. It was great. And I did a good job, but yay me. Then I moved to the second house sit. The people were already gone again, and they had a little keyless entry pad to let me in. And that was a breeze. By that time, I was free to go to grocery stores and stuff. And they actually lived in a neighborhood with grocery stores. I still didn't go to restaurants. I didn't eat in any restaurant. I got all of my restaurant food delivered. I went to grocery stores, but I didn't eat in any restaurants. I'm pretty sure. My friend Katrina, she says, I hate grocery shopping. I know you do. Every time you say it, I'm like, how? It's wonderful. There's so many boxes. There's so many things you could try. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Let me go. So I'm just rambling, and I'm not reading your questions, which is the whole purpose of the chat. All right. So I did answer Saren's, how safe did I feel at the airport? Less than I thought. Hi, Cynthia. Cynthia's in New Orleans. Hey, girl. Let me go to Rose's questions. Are there expectations for cleaning? When I house sit, they expect me to leave the house like I found it. That's it. Sometimes house sits have a housekeeper. If they have a housekeeper and they go away on vacation, they don't fire the housekeeper. So the housekeeper still comes. But usually I don't know if they have a housekeeper until I get there. It's not something that people think to put in their listing. But Yeah, you're expected to clean up after yourself. Leave the house like you found it. This lady, even the house that I just left, she even commented on how clean I left the house. And I'm like, it was really clean when I got there. Like, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, Saren says people love wearing masks that don't cover their face. Cover their mouth, cover their nose. That's annoying. Like, what, do you understand the purpose of the mask? Katrina said, would I consider a nonstop flight? I flew nonstop coming back, still American, because I'm using up a voucher. American did me dirty, gave me a nice voucher for it, and I'm still using up the voucher, even though I don't like American. Like, I'm stuck flying them because they're terrible, basically. Because of the bad experience that I had with them, I'm stuck flying them until I use up this voucher. So I flew nonstop coming back. Wasn't much better. In fact, it was a little bit worse because that's when I realized that I was with a bunch of partiers, people who had gone to party in New Orleans. I flew back on July 20th, and for some reason, my flight was just full. It was a Monday, and it was just full of people who, like, this one boy, he was a boy. He wasn't a grown-up. He was like maybe 18 or 19. He stood up and he was like, I don't swear on my videos usually because I want the extra monetization. Some people won't put ads, but he was like, B, I've been drunk since 4:30 this morning. Right. It was a rowdy flight. And I'm like, I'm putting my own health and my parents' safety in the hands of these strangers who went to New Orleans to party, So nonstop, I think, still didn't help me, didn't make me feel any better. Maybe if I were on a different airline that I felt like actually cared about people, maybe. There are airlines out there. There are airlines that are take in Adelia, right? Adelia, you just flew into Mexico City and you said that there were airlines. Adelia finally got out of China, y'all. You watched our video where she talked about how hard it was for her to get out of China with her dog. So she and her dog are now in Mexico City. And she talked about airlines and airports taking their temperatures and, stuff. American Airlines don't care about that. So I don't trust any of them to have my best interests at heart. So I don't think so. I really, really want an RV. I keep pleading with y'all, please let me use your RV. Let me hold your RV for a second. So if you have one, or you or your friend, tell me. I would take. So I'm up to take a road trip or two, but I don't think I'll be flying until, I don't know. It'll be a while. Yeah, Adelia says being at the mercy of those people is why you're not looking forward to flying anytime soon. Yeah, you're putting your safety and the safety of everyone you're about to come into contact with in the hands of strangers who, like, some people just don't think it's real. Still, like, come on, dude, right? Like, Herman Cain just died. That's not, I don't know. I don't mean to laugh, but like, he just died after being like, oh, this is not real. Now it's gone. It's real. And there are a lot of people out there who just, and when you fly, you're at their mercy. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Try not to. This is the worst live stream ever. My hair is dripping. I forgot to close the door. I think I'm home alone though. And now I feel like I need to sneeze. All right. Are there any? Hi, Feather Spirit, 1111. Oh no, 11111. Hi. I think you're new. Welcome. Are there any opportunities to house sit with a child? That would be a great way to travel with your daughter at 14. Absolutely. People house sit with children. Yes. People house sit with spouses and partners. Yes. People house sit with, like, just their mom or friends. Yes. You just have to make sure that you're making it clear that you're house sitting with your daughter. There are people who are perfectly fine with that. Some people are like, no, my dog doesn't like kids. Well, at 14, you probably won't run into that. But there are some people who are like, my dog is not nice to kids, or my cat, some pets are not nice to kids because they're afraid that kids are going to step on them or whatever. But at 14, your daughter's probably past the age where people would be concerned about that. But yes, absolutely. You just have to, it's a matter of finding the right client. When you go on Trusted House Sitters and you read profiles and you apply, I would think that house sitting with a daughter means that you're probably going to need to apply to more house sits before you get the first yes. I would assume I don't know, but I would assume. But then once within, like with any other platform, once you get that first yes and you get that first 5-star review, things are much easier for you. So it might be harder to get the first sit, but then once you get that first review that says Feather Spirits is amazing. She took great care of my home and she was a wonderful person and blah, blah, blah. And her daughter, she and her daughter were wonderful, then things would be much easier. So I think it probably would be a little harder to get started, but I do know people who house sit with children. Oh, Tanaj and Tino. I interviewed Tanaj and Tino. So they're a husband and wife. They did their first house sit as a couple, and then they have done house sits after that with their son, who I think was 14 or 15 when they got started. So there's a video on there, on my channel about that. They're on Instagram that they're at TENAJ_TINO_. Check them out on Instagram because they may have, from Instagram, you can probably link, because they have a YouTube channel and they may have made a video about house sitting with their son. I can't remember right now if they did or not. But you can find them on Instagram and on YouTube and maybe they'll have better information on like booking that first house sit with your kid. But I'm pretty sure that once you get that first one, it's all good. It's all good. All right. Adelia says, United gave us wipes to wipe down the area, but they sold middle seats. Okay. Yeah, I think it was like around July 1st, pretty much everybody in the US was like, yeah, we're selling middle seats now. So they're businesses, they're corporations. You can't trust them with your life. They're about making money. Saren, have I ever house sat in Montreal? No. Number one, I boycott winter. So I try to avoid Canada altogether. No, but there are. Canadians love house sitters. House sitting is big in Canada. They're traveling a little less. So when you look on Trusted House Sitters, you can see sits. You know what? We're live and we're here. I can show you my screen if I can. Let's see. I'm going to show you Trusted House Sitters if that's okay. Cancel. Open system press. Oh, it needs permission. I thought I've already given permission for that. I can't show you my screen. I'm sorry. It's saying I need permission. No. I thought for sure I had that. Share screen, current application, entire screen. All right, I think you can see my screen now. All right, so now I got to figure out how to do this. Why can't I just show you? I don't know if this is it or not. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Now you're seeing stuff I'm not even supposed to show you. So I'll show you what's going on. If you can see Trusted House Sitters, can you let me know in the chat? Because I don't know what you're seeing. I don't think you can. No. We can see your share screen. Hi, Financial Garden. Hey, can you see a Trusted House Sitter screen, or is it just my background? Default, new, default. Yeah, just the screensaver. Yeah, it's saying I need to give permission and I need to end the broadcast to give permission. Okay, so we're going to cancel that. Okay, so I can't show you. But when you look on Trusted House Sitters, you'll see it. Now I'm gone. This is the worst live stream I've ever done. And that's saying a lot. Okay, hi, I'm back. All right, while I was gone, I broke out. Now I'm sweating. I went from I went from hair dripping to sweating. So you can see on Trusted House Sitters what's going on. People on the West Coast are traveling and they are booking house sitters. A lot of East Coast people are just starting to book for like September, October, November, December. But West Coasters are booking house sitters for like this week. And I also saw a lot of Chicago houses recently. I almost thought about it. I looked up how hard it would be, like how far is the drive to Chicago. So, and I was saying Canadians. So Canadians seem to be taking their time going back to travel. So I'm not sure when you'll start seeing house sits in Canada again. But I haven't seen them. And then the UK, Spain, they're back at it. Europe is back at it. In Europe, you're free to roam about Europe. They're free to roam about the region. So they're back at it. So there are house sits there as well on Trusted House Sitters. So if you just scroll around, you can see what's on there. You can see without getting a membership. You can't look at individual listings. You can just look at the main page, to see. I wish I could show you. You can see the first page of everyone's listing, but you can't scroll through their pictures. But you can see where and when and what kind of animal, if it's a pet sit or not a pet sit. You can see that part. Okay, so we have some people talking about RVing. Yeah, Katrina, I really want to do it this summer, this fall. I was hoping, my original plan was to RV around either Ireland or Scotland this winter or fall, but that's not going to happen. But here in the U.S. would be nice. You can do RV relocation. Lovely Day 6. Hey, girl. My friend said they pay her to drive the RV to a different city. I've seen that, too. That's something that I think is probably like house sitting where you need to get on it, right? Because some of the good relocation drives are going to go quickly. That seems like the kind of thing where you need to get on the site and you need to be on it when something good pops up. Yeah, so I would definitely do RV relocation. That's just where someone does a one-way RV rental and then someone else has to drive the RV back to its home base or whatever. I've seen them, but I've never seen, I look randomly on the site, but I've never seen one where I'm like, I want to do this. It's usually like from East Texas to West Texas. No offense, Texas friends, but I'm not interested. Saren's asking about all the locations. So yes, Saren, there's no location that you can type in here that I've not seen. So yes, those locations are on Trusted House Sitters. Okay. It's just a matter of, are these people traveling now? So in Hawaii, there are house sits that pop up in Hawaii. Of course, they go quickly. And right now, people aren't traveling for very long. In Hawaii, you have to quarantine for 14 days. So I don't know that it would be worth it to go house sit in Hawaii. But there's no, like you can type in any location you can think of. Yes, there are house sits there. Okay, so let's move past this. Yes, there are house sits there. The question is this the time to do it, right? Is this the time to go? And how long, right? How long can you be in the area? Yeah, so check out Trusted House Sitters. Make sure that you get, I had the birthday bundle and like I said, so many of you guys signed up for Trusted House Sitters that they called to thank me. They're like, thank you. We got a bunch of new house sitters. I'm like, you're welcome. So don't let that go to waste. Get on there, get your profile filled out. I've done one-on-one calls with most of the people who got the birthday bundle. There's still a handful of you guys that I haven't booked a one-on-one call with. I don't know if my emails are going to spam or what, but a couple of you that I've had a hard time reaching. Click on the link in the email, schedule your talk with me. Already, I can't say her name, Jay. So I know her name, but I'm trying to think of like, can I say her name on here or not? Because she's private on Instagram. She doesn't even have a picture of herself on Instagram. So Jay, I'll call her, she bought the birthday bundle. She got her Trusted House Sit, I think she got the 40% off code without the one-on-one call. But she got her 40% off and she already house sat in the Florida Keys. She lives in Florida. She had a beautiful house sit in the Florida Keys. I'm talking beautiful. The house was gigantic. Just and waterfront, a waterfront house in the Keys. Just beautiful. A nice way for her to get away from where she lives in Florida, which I don't remember. I don't remember where she lives in Florida. I think she may live in the Tampa area. I don't remember where Jay lives, but she drove herself down to the Keys and had a wonderful house sit right on the water. Alone, social distancing. So don't let your memberships go to waste. Katrina, do I get paid for house sits? When you book through a site like Trusted House Sitters or House Carers, you are not paid. There's no money exchanged. You cannot ask to get paid on those sites. I have to be clear because they always make that clear when they contact me. They're like, they're like, oh, we saw your new video. Thank you for talking so kindly about Trusted House Sitters. Please remember that. Please remember that to tell people that these are unpaid house sits. So I guess there's, been some concern with, people thinking that they were going to get paid and then finding out after that they're not getting paid. You're not getting paid to house sit through these sites. What you're getting is free accommodation, and you're getting the chance to help someone else travel and live their travel dreams while you stay in their home and live your travel dreams in their city. And maybe you're getting some meals out of it. Sometimes they take me out to eat. Sometimes they leave me food in the fridge. And they always bring me back like a little trinket or something, like a souvenir. I'm like, you can keep that. No offense. Somebody might be watching. No offense, but you can keep your souvenirs. Just buy me a cup of coffee. Ask me for my Cash App. Ask me for my Cash App, like we just had from Janamuso. I think I got that right. Yeah. But I don't need your trinkets here. I got a Swarovski bracelet. I got a cute dish, a dish from Mexico, like a little dish. But I'm always like, where am I supposed to pack this? You know what I mean? But you're not getting paid. Now, what you're also getting is word of mouth referrals. I think all of my word of mouth referrals that I've actually booked, except for the ones from Queen in Mexico, all of them have come from people that I've house sat for, right? So I house sat for you through Trusted House Sitters for free. You refer me to your friends and family. I house sit for them for money if I want. Like I said, I don't get paid for a lot of house sits that I could charge for because I'm like, I want to be here. You have plants, you just want me to water the plants or take care of your cat. You're giving me the car to use. I'm not charging you. I feel like I'm getting something out of it. If I were house sitting locally, I would definitely charge, right? Because I don't need a place to stay. I got a place to stay. So if you're thinking about doing some local house sits, not through Trusted House Sitters, but just through word of mouth, yeah, charge those people. You still have to pay for your place to stay. So yeah, charge for those. Yeah. Saren says, I should have pulled the trigger. I was just nervous about flying. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know where you are, Saren. So you don't, I wouldn't, like I said, I won't fly again for months, but I will be house sitting. I will be house sitting soon. Feather, Chicago is pretty quiet right now. There are a few tourist events that are open and active. So if you've never been here, you might still have a nice time. I've been to Chicago. I went when Prince did those concerts, those back-to-back like concerts. But I was only there I don't even know if I was there for 72 hours. And I think I would be okay. Like I haven't had enough Chicago experience that I would be bored. Like there's still some things I want to do. I think museums are open. That's what I need to look at because I like museums. I think some museums and stuff are open. In New Orleans, the museums anyway that I wanted to go to were not open. That I think would be a difference maker. That's pretty much the only indoors thing that I want to do. There's not a whole, I can't see myself going to any indoor event anywhere anytime soon. I will stay outside. I will eat on the waterfront. I will, go to the park. I will take pictures of the beautiful homes in the neighborhood, but I can't think of anything indoors that I would want to do. But thank you for that, Feather Spirit. Saren's in Denver. Oh, so Coloradans are traveling like crazy. Colorado seems to think that this is not a real thing. So if you wanted to go to another place in Colorado, like a mountainy place, you can find there are house sits in Colorado. So I said West Coast, up and down the West Coast, but lump Colorado in that too. I know you're not West Coast, but West to me. Lump that in there too. Yeah. So there are, to me, a crazy number of house sits for that state. A crazy number of houses. So if you wanted to do like a road trip, you'll find something. There was some of them are probably in Denver, which is not exciting to you, but there were some all over the state. I want to say that might be where I saw a cool cabin, but I'm not sure if it was Colorado or if it was Oregon or where. But there are some stuff in there. Okay, lovely day 6. I haven't had. Okay, so I may either if you. So she's saying that she did get her birthday bundle, hasn't booked her one-on-one. She'll share her island story when we talk. All right. Now I'm ready. Yeah. So email me, Stephanie@vacarious.com, and we will get your one-on-one scheduled. I don't know if maybe, well, you must have gotten hopefully you did get the welcome email, because you don't seem like you didn't. If you didn't, you'd be like, hey, where's my stuff? So hopefully you got all the links to the membership discount and all the other stuff. So, make sure that you book that one-on-one call with me. As you see, this is my favorite thing to talk about. So I want to talk about it with you, and not just talk about it, but I want to get you set up. So I did the one-on-one calls. We've gotten people's profiles set up, like they're ready to post. So I talked about Jay getting her house sit in the Keys, Minnesota. So someone just booked a house sit in Minnesota after the one-on-one calls, and a third person. If you're on the chat, let me know. Remind me of where you're going. But yeah, so just since that first week in July, 3 people have joined Trusted House Sitters and gotten their first house sit booked already, right? So if you're needing to get away, I'm not opposed to going somewhere. I know that states have rules, so follow your state's rules. I live in Delaware. There's no rule about coming and going. So follow your state's rules. But remember that follow your state's rules and follow the self-isolation rules and quarantine rules. But that doesn't mean that you have to stay in your house. I don't think. Now, I'm a travel person. This is a travel channel, and people who watch this channel like to travel, and people who participate in these chats and live streams like travel. So we're going to have a different perspective. There are people saying stay in the house. But that's not how I'm interpreting it, right? I'm seeing it as follow the rules. And there's no rule that says stay in the house. That's not the rule. So the house sit in New Orleans the 2 house sits were a great way for me to get out, see something new. I did feel like I was traveling, even though I didn't do very much. I was in a new environment, eating new food. I didn't meet any new people. It was probably one of the first times that I've been somewhere and not met any new person. How you're just walking around, people stop and chat. I had no real conversations. I took 4 rides in the lift the whole time I was there. So it was a different type of experience, but it was an experience. The people had Disney Plus. I think that was one of the main things I did. I just watched Hamilton. I watched Hamilton probably 30 times. That's about it. I watched Hamilton. I ate all the foods. So people told me, make sure you eat at Dookie Chase. Make sure you eat from Moro's. So I got delivery from those 2. Those are 2 Black-owned New Orleans restaurants. I got food delivery from Dookie Chase and from Moro's. Gus's. I always get Gus's fried chicken anytime I'm in a place with Gus's. I've eaten Gus's in 5 or 6 different cities. So I did those things. To me, Dookie Chase was not a revelation. I was expecting to be wowed by the food. We have food like that here in Delaware. So that's my hot take on New Orleans. I had beignets from Cafe Du Monde. To me, I would rather have a funnel cake. We have that. We have funnel cake right here in Delaware. Delaware has a beautiful boardwalk area, Rehoboth Beach. And I would rather go to Rehoboth and have a funnel cake than have a beignet. So, so mostly what I learned was that Delaware has pretty good food, except for Chinese food. We don't have good Chinese food at all. I was in New Orleans for 21 days. I ate Chinese food 4 nights. 4 nights. Because it's good. They have good Chinese food. We don't have good Chinese food up here. We don't have legit, like real Chinese food. Okay, Katrina, I have a travel agency that I'm thinking of closing. What are your thoughts? I think that people will want to book through travel agents going forward. I think for their protection. I think it depends on what you're offering. If you can offer people, so a lot of people have had terrible experiences getting refunds during this time. And so I think as a person who has never, ever, ever booked a trip with a travel agent, right? You have to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I would imagine that there are people who are going to want to start booking with travel agents for their own protection if a travel agent can guarantee them, these protections. I am going to advocate for you in getting money refunds in the event of a disaster. I will help you get out of the country if you get there. We've seen stories of people who were stuck in the Maldives for 2 months, would a travel agent have helped with that? So I think if you can help with those things, these are real concerns that travelers are going to have for the next year or two at least. If you can help with those things, sure, stick it out. If not, then I don't know the point. I don't know. You would have to ask people who actually use travel agents. Anybody in the chat use a travel agent and why? And are you looking to continue to use a travel agent? Yeah, I think for me, I would use a travel agent if I was looking for I can't think of the word. Extraordinary experience in a place where I've never been before, and I would want someone who's been there. I would want someone who is an expert. I think location-specific experts are still going to continue to do well. Yeah, I'm thinking it through. I don't know if you can see my face, my eyes. I'm thinking it through. But I think that that's what travel agents offer, and I think that will continue to be a bonus or plus to people. But you have to, if you can offer these things. If not, then I don't get the point. I would close it too. I would spend time focusing on other things. Okay, so Katrina, your name twin books international trips through a travel agent. Katrina, can you tell us in the chat why? What do you get from a travel agent? What is and will you continue to book through a travel agent? If you don't mind sharing some information. I like to ask questions and I like to get questions answered. So, so answer your name twin's question. Help her out here, because Katrina Skinner has other things, right? She's got other things that she's working on. So I am not an advocate for being busy. Y'all know that. I'm not an advocate for doing stuff to be busy. So if it's not bringing you some kind of satisfaction, if you're not enjoying it, if it's not giving you money, don't do it. If you like it, do it. If it's helpful. But if you don't like it, don't do it, right? I'm shutting down Social Stephanie. I'm shutting down my virtual assistant business. I've already let the domain name go. That was my last step to saying I am not doing this anymore. I don't like it. I've not liked it. So I'm not doing it. I'm not an advocate for doing things just because. Black women are just told that we have to here I go. This was supposed to be a light convo, but Black women are just told we have to be busy. You have to own a business, go to school, take care of your kids, have 6 degrees, own 8 properties, be a landlord. You don't have to do all that. It's okay. It's okay if you go to a job, come home, and chill. It's okay. It's okay if you don't go to a job and you just chill. Yeah, so you're never going to hear me advocate, friend. You're never going to hear me advocate for doing things for the sake of doing them, for doing more. I think it's just ingrained in us that we have to have these external things to be valuable. Oh girl, you ain't got no business. Ooh, you ain't got no degrees. You ain't got no letters after your name. Ooh, what is you doing? What is the problem? No, I'm a house sitter. And I'm not even house sitting. I'm a house sitter. I'm not even house sitting. You know what? I'm valuable and I'm happy. So, all that to say, Katrina, ask some people what they like. Seriously, ask some people who have booked with a realtor. Ask some people who have booked with a travel agent. I'm sorry about spitting in the microphone. I know that was kind of hard on your ears. Ask some people who book with a travel agent. Like, seriously, why do you book with a travel agent? And what are your plans for the future? Yeah. I think that it is a business that can thrive, but you have to be in the right lane. So either position yourself in one of those lanes, right? Extraordinary experiences, especially for groups. If I was planning a family trip, I would probably want to book through an agent. My family reunion was just online last weekend, and my Aunt Pam said, "Come and talk to us about travel." So I did. I instead, because we couldn't travel anywhere for the reunion, I did like a little photo tour of South Africa with my own pictures, and they seemed to think that was cute. So if we were going to take a group trip somewhere, I would probably want to book with an agent for my own protection and just to make sure that we had a great experience. But I would want to make sure that I booked with an agent who had experience with those things, right? So yeah, so that's all. Yeah, that's all I know. So your name twin says she books with a travel agent because they know the ins and outs of that country, and you feel more comfortable. I trust them to build the best experience. Yeah, good. That's what I would think. That's what I would. Yeah. So you would want someone who is a specialist in the area. Katrina loves Jamaica. So like if she was specializing in certain places, do it, keep it, if you like it. If you don't like it, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't let it go. Let it go. Saren, I'm always getting caught up. I'm sorry, y'all. You know what I'm not doing? Using my resources, using the tools around me. I'm always getting caught up in that. Even when I'm taking it easy, I'm thinking about being busy. It's a trap. It's a trap. Thank God I don't have that problem. I wish I could just share with you something. I wish I had some words, because that's the only thing I can give you is words. I wish I had some words that would take that away from you and others, you and every Black woman who does that. I wish I could. I don't know the words. All I can say is stop. Stop doing it. Find some examples of some relaxed, laid back, carefree people who are perfectly fine with free time. Normalize free time. Find some examples, see more, and use and follow them, right? Like follow them on social media and let go of some of the hustle, grind, sleep when you die people. Unfollow them. Like unfollow them. I don't see those messages. I know they're still out there, but I don't see them. Even if I did see them, I wouldn't see them. That does not relate. At the family reunion, my mom said, Stephanie shares a birthday with her grandfather, but not his work ethic, right? Which is very true. And I think that he would like that. Because Willie Evans was not a hard worker because he wanted to be, right? He was a hard worker because of his situation in life. He was born in Georgia in 1906, I think. And he was born into a station in life, in a place in life where he had to work himself, his fingers to the bone, right? And then he had 9 children, right? He had to, or he felt like he had to, right? I'm not in that situation. I think he would be so glad to see me smiling and happy and rested and free and full of free time and seeing the world and doing the things that I like to do. This morning I got up, I went for a walk for an hour. I wrote, so I'm supposed to be writing 500 words a day. I wrote 200 and something words, and then I called it quits. I washed my hair. you know, I think that he would be glad to see the smile on my face. I think he'd be glad to see that. I have cousins on the reverse. I have cousins who've been hospitalized for exhaustion, my age. And when people praise, especially one, when people praise her, the thing they say, oh man, she is such a hard worker. But she is killing herself. Like legitimately, she is killing herself. So I'm not going to praise hard work. I don't, that's not a compliment. And somebody else. Oh, so my parents are so I said I'm home alone. My parents are at a funeral right now. The woman's mother died and they're praising the woman. They're like, she's just such a hard worker about the girl. I'm like that's not a compliment. I don't see it. I don't get it. I've never gotten it. I have been a hard worker at times, but it's not innately in me, So yeah. So you're not going to see that from me. I had a miscarriage when I was 23 and I sat at my desk. I worked 4 10-hour shifts and I sat down at my desk thinking something was possibly wrong. I didn't think it was likely. I thought there was like a 5 or 10% chance that something was wrong. I sat at my desk and I worked my full 10-hour shift before I went to the hospital. And then when I got to the hospital, the doctor said, too late. I was 21 weeks. I'm sorry. I guess I should do some sort of warning before I talk about things like this. This is very triggering for women. I'm sorry. But I just want to say that I know what it's like to put work ahead of things. But I'm not doing that no more. No, indeed. And I don't want you to do it. And I don't want you to get to a point where you have a terrible story to tell before you say, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't want it to be that. Having a heart attack. I did some client work for a woman who had a heart attack at 26. And I worked with a woman who had a stroke in her 20s. I don't want you to have that kind of story. So just stop now. End of sermon. Yeah, so stop now. Hustle culture is not smart. G says, yeah, it's Gertrude. Now, Gertrude, I don't mean to tell your business, Gertrude, but you just announced today that you've taken on another responsibility. You're doing what you love, so I appreciate that. But I hope that you are taking time for yourself. I hope you're taking time to chill, just have free time. I think you probably are because you're coming up with good ideas. When people have good ideas, I'm like, yeah, that's the benefit of free time. You have some time to think about stuff. You're not just doing stuff for the sake of doing it. So Gertrude has good ideas. But I hope that you're listening. I hope you're not listening. I hope that you're taking your own advice. I pray for that for you. Gertrude is a YouTuber and we've talked about her a lot. She does, if you are interested in a freelance writing business, because she does a lot of things, I'm going to miss some of the things that she's an expert in. But I know her as a freelance writing expert. Like if you want to get your freelance writing business going, follow Gertrude on YouTube. She's G Nantra. And Gertrude, are you youtube.com/GNantra? I assume you are. If you can just click on her name, I think in the chat. If you click on her name, you will get to her page. Follow her. Virtual family reunion. I love that. Yeah, it was cute. My Aunt Pam in North Carolina put it together for us. And it was really fun. It was nice to see everyone's face. And, we had a burger challenge. I was one of the judges in the hamburger challenge. People had to make burgers and we had a competition. We had a fashion show because we've done the reunion for years and years. And everyone wore a different year's t-shirt. And so we had a little t-shirt fashion show. A dessert competition. It was really fun. It was really nice. And then I did the little tour of South Africa. And we also talked about my cousin, Monica, ran for Congress in North Carolina this year. She did not win the Democratic nomination. She did not win in the primary, so she's not going forward. But we talked a little bit about social issues. And I talked to them. I said the same thing I said to y'all. We have the option. You can fight Or you can fight and flight are both valid. You can flight, you can go. You don't have to stay in a toxic situation. Leave, right? I'm saying this now. I told y'all on Instagram today, my passport is expired. I did let my passport expire. So I don't have, I can't leave right now because it's useless. I'm just going to wait. I don't want to send it in right now. I want to wait until I know that they're going to be able to process my passport in a reasonable amount of time before I send it in. If I'd sent it in March when I was supposed to, the shutdown meant that it would just have sat somewhere. So I didn't send it then. And now I don't want to send it because now they're processing all the stuff that they hadn't been doing all that time. So I'm just going to wait another month or so because it's not like I can use it. Katrina, I'm laying in the bed now feeling guilty about not running errands. Rest. Follow the NAP ministry on all of your social media channels. Follow me. Follow Rashida Dow. Sheeta's on the Loose on all of your social media channels. Find more people who talk about rest. Find more people who talk about peace of mind, and unfollow hustle, grind, no sleep team culture people. Unfollow them. Just don't. You don't need that. They're not talking to you. They're talking to somebody else, but they're not talking to you. Yeah. Gee, nobody has to die hustling. No, indeed. And it happens. I think probably every single one of us can name someone who worked themselves to death. Literally. You don't have to do that. Believe me, you don't have to. Yeah. I don't know. Saren, how many hours per week do I put into my business? So my virtual assistant business, I put in probably, I would say per month, not per week, per month, 20 hours a month, 30 hours a month. I think that seems about right. Per month. That's for food. Because I don't pay for a place to stay. Now I'm staying with my parents. But if I were out house sitting, I still would not be paying for a place to stay. So that is why I don't work very much. And then this business is basically blogging and my YouTube channel and stuff. And it's hard for me to say. Right now I'm planning something big with Rashida. So I probably worked close to 40 hours this week, which is not common. It may also be why I was a little snippy on the phone yesterday with Rashida. Rashida and I are working on putting together something. And she was like, what's wrong with you? And it might be because I've worked 40 hours this week. It's hard to say because I don't track stuff like that. But I would say, but it's definitely not 40. I don't work 40 hours a week. Between the two businesses, the two things that I do, I don't work 40 hours a week. Not even. Saren, can we be nosy about the live stream? Oh, okay, wait, I'm just skipping around words. Can we be nosy and have a live stream about the businesses you have? Oh, that I've let go? We can. Yeah, we'll schedule that one day. I can run through a list. So I've tried t-shirts. So I have a merch shop where I do t-shirts and stuff. So I went hard on the t-shirt thing for a while, where you put designs on, Amazon. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. You put designs on Amazon and different sites like that. And I went hard on that. I'm not talking about just throwing a few up. I'm it was research and it was a lot of work. But I didn't like it, and I couldn't get traction. But even if I could get traction, I wouldn't have liked it. Virtual assistant business, pretty much closed up. I still have a client who keeps emailing me to do work. But that's pretty much closed up. And then that I've done a lot of stuff that I wouldn't call a business. I've tutored English online. I've done a lot of the typical full-time traveler things. I've done transcriptioning, just terrible. I don't recommend it. Yeah, so one day, yes, we will. We'll talk more about those things. Ms. Hurricane says she's over it. I hope that we are over it collectively. I hope that we as a Black women group, I hope we're over it. Adelia, all of what you're saying is why I'm in Mexico right now. Adelia just finished teaching in China. Are you officially retired, Adelia? I know that Adelia is younger than me. I'm 46. And I believe, I don't know if you're like officially declaring retirement status, but you're not working. I know that. Adelia has just left China and is now in Mexico City, where life is breezy, where things are much less expensive and where things are much. Mexico City is not slower paced. It's a city. It's a major city. It's a busy city, but just where you're allowed to be still, where you're allowed to chill. They believe in it. A lot of the world just really believes in having relaxation time and like taking it seriously, not just like, oh, let me go get a pedicure, right? We kind of think self-care is a pedicure, but it's more than that. I hope that I can't wait. I will get to Mexico City to see you at some point. I don't know when when I'm going to be able to get back in an airplane, but I can't wait to go. I really want to go. I want to visit you, and I want to visit Nubia, who is on the water near Playa del Carmen. Katrina, I'm trying to get there. Yep. G says she's a recovering workaholic. I recently came to that. You're getting there. Okay, good. Good. So, yeah, there's a difference between doing something that you love because you love it and just doing things because you think you have to do them. Yeah. You see them, I see it. I see people doing it and I'm like, you're just taking on more stuff. But I hope you stop. I hope you don't stop adding things to your plate. Yeah, Katrina went with me to the Bahamas to the Bahamas for my family reunion cruise. This was the same family reunion, the Evans family reunion. Yeah, we went to the Bahamas on a cruise. 2005. I don't know. Yeah, maybe 2005. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, same family reunion. So they have it every year. I don't go a lot of the times because a lot of times it's in Hastings, Florida, and there's nothing there. The family came out of Hastings, Florida. And for some reason, some of the reunion planners think we want to go back to Hastings, Florida and just sit in the dirt field. So I don't go. But when it's someplace good, I go. So it was supposed to be in North Carolina. I was really looking forward to that, but it didn't happen. Gertrude, we're normalizing rest. Does YouTube pay well? Good question, Sunshine Mouse. No. YouTube does. So I'm a very small YouTuber. I have 2,800 subscribers. I said 2,800 instead of like 2,800. I should have said like 2,800 subscribers, I believe. I think I'm getting ready to hit 2,800. Maybe 2,700. So for a small YouTuber, I don't know how you would make a living. This month, I'll be surprised if I make $100 from YouTube. What YouTube does do is it gives you a way for customers to find you if you have a product or service to sell. Okay, so YouTube is not in the beginning. Now, there are people, yes, who YouTube does pay them well, but they have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. For me, YouTube is about people finding me and then finding out about House Sitter School and the other things that I do, the one-on-one calls that I do and stuff like that. So YouTube is a channel for marketing more than it is a payoff. It's marketing and it's just, fun. I really like it. Like, as you can see, as you can tell, because I told y'all this was going to be short and it's already been 1 hour and 3 minutes. As you can tell, I like being able to talk to you. I feel like I'm talking to you, even though I'm really just talking to a little green dot on my laptop. But I feel like I'm talking to you. We're having a conversation. We get to know each other. So I like it for that aspect. And I like it as a way to market what I do. But it's not paying well. No. I think probably this month, just in making videos, I've put in maybe 6 or 8 hours though. And I may get $100, $80 or $100 this month. So I guess it depends on what you mean by pay well. Yeah, but it's more about the other things, the people that YouTube connects you with. I think. And my business would not be making money, because before YouTube, I wasn't making money. When I was blogging, I wasn't making money in the business. So YouTube does bring in business money that way. All right. Okay. So we talked about 8 different things. So if anybody's new and is like, you said you're going to talk about house sitting, just a quick run through. House sitting during the pandemic was, I would give myself like a B overall. In the beginning, I flew, which was not good. I took a lift and I met with the first homeowner face to face, even though we stayed apart and wore our masks. So that was, okay. But then after she left, things went much better. I didn't go to the grocery stores and I didn't go in any stores or shops. I had my food and my groceries delivered for the first few days. I think so 10 days, it was 10 days before I went to the grocery store, and I never went to a restaurant. So yeah, more than 10 days. Yeah. So 10 days without me being in contact with other people. I walked the dogs. I took pictures. I did all, and then I laid around and watched Hamilton on Disney Plus. And yeah. And then once my 10 days were over, I went, I did grocery shopping, which I like doing. And then I went into the French Quarter, because during that time, I didn't even go into the French Quarter because I knew that there would be like people, there would be tourists there. I went into the French Quarter. I waited until early Sunday morning, and you could see that some stuff had happened. Like, you can see that they had a regular Saturday night fun time there. The streets were filthy. The men were out cleaning the streets. Men and women were out cleaning the streets. And so apparently New Orleans had party Saturday night like it was a regular Saturday night. But I didn't go around until Sunday morning. So I stayed away from crowds. I stayed away from people in general. And that experience with house sitting lets me know that I'm okay with house sitting during the pandemic. I'm okay with going to someone's house and staying in a new town during this time, as long as I follow the rules. Yeah. So if you're thinking about it, it gets a yes vote from me. I will not fly again for months, because I don't like putting myself in other people's hands. And that's the only time during the trip. That and the Lyft rides were the only time that I felt like I was in this other person's, my future safety is in their hands. If they're taking this seriously, then I might be in good shape. But if they're a person who has not taken this seriously, then I am putting my family at risk, my parents at risk when I come home. So then we didn't talk about this, when I did come home, I'm upstairs, they're downstairs. I'm like in a thing, like an attic, I guess, that my dad built years and years and years ago. And there's no air conditioner, and there's a window AC unit, which is why it's usually really hot up here, because during the videos I have to turn it off because it's really loud. But that's not a problem today. Today I'm like, my hair is wet, but it's not a problem. So I stay away from them. There's even a microwave and a refrigerator in the room right there. So I stay away from them. They're downstairs. When I did go downstairs, I wore a mask and they wore a mask. Well, I wore a mask and my mom wore a mask. My dad was not interested. And then, so finally, I'm out of quarantine. I'm allowed to go downstairs without a mask on. I could eat with them, and my mom bought me some flowers to celebrate the end of the end of my self-isolation period. So I feel like I did a decent job. I could have done better. The flying in particular, and meeting the homeowner, the house sitting client. Those two things I could have done much better, and taken a lift. So in the future, if I house sit while things are still like they are, I will be driving myself, and then I'll be able to get like A pluses. A pluses. Lovely Day 6. Yes, I have a Google AdSense account. So my channel is monetized. My channel is monetized. So you didn't see ads today because I forgot to turn them on. But when you do a new video, you have to say, yes, I want ads on this video. But yeah, if you when this is over, if you click on another video, you'll see ads. Yes, I've been monetized. I started my channel June of 2019, and I got monetized June of 2020. So it took me 70 videos, 68 or 72 videos to get monetized. But I am monetized. Yeah. So I am getting that. But like I said, it's not a primary income source. I can't see it being a primary income source for someone who has fewer than maybe 100,000 subscribers. I think. I don't know. What do I know? We'll see. I'll keep reporting back. I'll let you know. As this channel grows, I'll let you know. And if y'all have your own channels, report and let us know. I'll let you know. You know, I don't mind talking money. So yeah, I'm getting, what did I say? Yeah, about $80 for the first 2 months. I've made about $80 per month. June, $80 in June. And it looks like I'll be making about $80 in July. Reporting is a little behind. But it's the reason that my business is growing. Like I had the $46 sale. You would not have known about the $46 birthday bundle if it wasn't for YouTube, because most of you have never seen my blog. My blog is not good. My website is not good. So you wouldn't have known me and you wouldn't have found me without YouTube. That's why I'm so in on YouTube. Adelia has a podcast. Adelia is Picky Girl Travels the World here in the chat. And she has a podcast. And she is, her podcast is Picky Girl Travels the World. And so, you know, when you do a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog, it's a way to grow your business in the beginning, I think, more than it is money, you know, a money maker. It's a way to grow your business and connect with people. And then as you grow, at some point, it will be a better money maker. If you listen to podcasts, subscribe to Adelia's podcast, Picky Girl Travels the World. Thanks for the report. You're welcome, Saren. Katrina, I'm so glad I found your channel. I found my tribe. We're glad too. We're so glad too. I appreciate you guys talking and sharing, because this doesn't work if you don't do that. So I appreciate you for that. I like to share, as you can see. So I like to tell what I know, right? And then if I don't know, I like to point you to somebody who I know who does know. So, and I appreciate you guys making that work, because it doesn't work if we don't all do it. If it's not a back and forth. Saren, is it true that Instagram doesn't convert as well as YouTube? Absolutely. For me, now I just talked to Rashida and she's like, what? What are you talking about? My Instagram, I like pretty pictures, but it does not get people to my products or services like YouTube does. Other people have the exact opposite experience. So you have to take what I'm saying as my experience and my clients. Like me and the people that I have done freelance work for, we also have had the same results. But then other people are having exactly the opposite. Yeah. But that, yes. So some of y'all are not going to be interested in this. So it's okay. If you want to go, it's fine. I appreciate you for coming, and I appreciate you for asking questions and talking. And I hope that I'll see you again Tuesday. So it's going to have to be 6 p.m. Eastern time, which I know is not convenient, but that's the only time that I can do it. And I want this to happen. Tuesday live, we'll be talking with Queen Michelle, who is one of the Black women who lives in Lake Chapala, Mexico. I told you that when I go to Lake Chapala, Mexico for 6 months every year, I hang out with these group of Black women who are so awesome. And Queen Michelle is one of the women who is in that group. She's one of the first women I met. I met her just walking out of a restaurant. I was eating breakfast. I walked out of the restaurant. She was in a car, her and her girlfriend, and they pulled over like, hey girl, what you doing? Who are you? How do we not know you yet? Which is one of the wonders of being a Black woman traveler. And then Queen has pointed me to two very wonderful house sits. When I said that most of my house sits are from people that I've house sat for, like most of my referrals, the only person who's referred me, who I've never house sat for, is Queen. She's referred me to two wonderful house sits, and I've never house sat for her, but she did just get a little dog. She just got a dog. So maybe I'll get to house sit for her sometime soon. Okay, so we'll be talking to her Tuesday live, 6 p.m. here on the channel. I know it's not a convenient time for a lot of people. Leave your questions ahead of time. Okay, you can email them to me, Stephanie@Vicarious.com. You can DM them to me on any channel, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm @Vicarious. You can leave them in the comments to this video. Yeah. So leave your questions ahead of time because this may be a video that you're going to have to go back and watch instead of catching live. I'm sorry about that. It's just the only time. It has to happen. I got to talk to Queen, but it's got to be Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right. So if you're going to go, it's okay. You don't have to stick around. We're going to talk some business money stuff because I don't mind. And the thing for No Madness, Audacity Fest, the thing that I want to do is at 1 o'clock. And I think I'm home alone. So we're not going to hear anybody cutting grass. It's so annoying. Every time I want to get on here, Joe Perry got to get out here disturbing the peace, cutting grass and stuff. But he's not here. They're at the funeral today. Okay, so your question was about Instagram not converting. And Katrina, can you give a class on how to YouTube? I did a really good video. Let me tell you, I did a really good video on another channel. Her channel, I'm sorry, I don't have the link. And y'all know if I go look for the link, it's going to take me 10 minutes. So her YouTube channel is Alicia's Adventures. She's got extra I's in her name. So that's how I remember how to spell it. Just add an I any place you can. Alieshia. Alicia's Adventures. So we did a video about YouTube. And then I did about growing the YouTube channel. And then I did a 45-minute lesson that I can give you. I sell it, but I can give it to you for free. I sell it for $17 because I believe in making money from your work. But I can also give it to you for free, but I'm gonna have to email you the link. Shoot. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can do this in less than 5 minutes. If anybody's interested, I can email you the link to my lesson on YouTube. It's about YouTube SEO, search engine optimization, or how you found me, except for Katrina. Katrina I've known for years, but how most of you found me is because I have optimized my YouTube channel so that it performs well when people are searching for certain things. That's called search engine optimization. And I have a quick lesson on that. If I can pull that up in less than 60 seconds. Let's see. And all I have to do is go to Google Drive. Because I don't want to share this. I mean, I don't want to not share it. I'm pretty sure it's in Google Drive. My Google Drive is full of stuff. I don't think it's in the freebies. Here. Okay. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. Okay. I made it for the Creatress Summit. Maybe if I do that. No, that's not it. Okay, I'm gonna look one more place, and if not, then you'll just have to email me for it, guys, if you want it. It's a 45-minute lesson on YouTube on how you found me, basically, is what it is. How you found me on YouTube. How I've optimized my channel so that it'll perform well in search. I sell it, like I said, for $17, but I'll give it to you. And maybe if you like it, you can tell a friend, and I'll give you the link to it, to the paid version. It's not here either. Here, right here. What is that? Why can't I get the link to it? Link. Boom. All right, there's the link. Okay, it's called Stop Ignoring YouTube. Okay, so that is what I know about search engine optimization for YouTube. Okay, yeah, so that's what I know about search engine optimization. And if you're watching the replay, I'll put this in the description. If I forget, which I often do, just comment and I'll find it and put it in there. Yeah, so YouTube is a way for people to find you. You don't have to go out and find each individual customer or viewer or whatever. I'm all in on it. I'm a big fan. My hair has really started to dry. When we started, it was so wet. Now it's dry and it's just doing its own thing. All right. But so Alicia's video is probably 20 or 30 minutes. And then the link that I just gave you is probably 45 or 50 minutes. So it really just depends on how much time you have. Alicia's video is a condensed version of what's in the thing. Hi, Justice. Hi. Don't let my mean mug fool you. I hope we are. Okay. I hope we are. Where are you, Jess? Let me know where in the world you are. Maybe we will get to meet. I'm in the market for a bestie. I'm in the market. I'm not sure if you thrive on YouTube because of your radiant personality. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. But there is a lot of amazing content from amazing content creators on YouTube that nobody sees, that nobody finds. The difference is search engine optimization, right? The difference is knowing how to get found. Making great content and being a great person, being like a person that people like on the internet doesn't mean that people will be able to find you. You've got to, so if you're a content creator and you're making stuff and people aren't finding you, it's because you're not optimized for search. Because no matter what you're talking about, somebody is searching for it, right? Most of you probably found me because you did some sort of search on travel and Black women. Because I talk about travel and Black women. So maybe you did a search or you watched another video by someone else in one of those categories and my video was suggested to you. That's on purpose. That's intentional. It's not accidental. I wanted you to find me, right? I don't want you to not know about my stuff. I don't want to make this stuff and then have nobody find it. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to sit down, create some great content, plan it out, write it out, make it, record it, post it, and then have nobody find it. Because y'all know, I just told you, I don't believe in working for nothing. I don't believe in doing a lot of work just because. I want to get something out of it. It doesn't have to be cash, right? It could just be fun times. We're having a fun time right now. It could just be fun times. But either way, I want you to find what I'm doing. And that happened because I optimized for search. Jess, I would love to have a long chat on your other business ventures. What are the pros and cons, deal breakers? We can do that. We can schedule that. I got a lot of time on my hands. So we'll schedule that. Actually, I don't have a lot of time on my hands. The thing that Rashida and I are working on is going to actually require me to be more scheduled out. So make sure that you're subscribed because it may not happen until September. Because August is booked. Rashida and I, okay, so I'm going to tell you. Don't tell her that I told you. She's not here. It's just you and me. It's a secret. So Rashida and I are putting together a sabbatical summit, a summit for Black women who want to take a sabbatical. And we're going to have amazing speakers, including Adelia. Hey, Adelia. We're having speakers come on to talk specifically about your sabbatical plan. Okay, so you're going to start this summit with I would like to take a sabbatical. Okay, you're going to end the 6-day summit with, here's my plan for taking a sabbatical. And that's happening September 21st through 26th. And it means that we have a lot of work to do, a lot of stuff to record, a lot of stuff to do. The summit is called Exodus. In fact, you can go to exodussummit.com if you'd like to make sure that you get an email from us when the free passes come out. So it's a summit where you're going to have like a free pass to get in. Don't tell Rashida that I told you about it. exodussummit.com. Boom. So you can check that out and if you want and leave your email address with us so that we can let you know when it's time to register for the summit. Okay. It's not time yet to register, but you can get on the waiting list. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. This is the extension of the 12 days of career breaks. So in December, Rashida and I talked to 12 Black women who had taken a career break, including Adelia. Who, you're seeing a theme here. Adelia is full of info. So so in those videos, a lot of you guys, right, who are right here in the chat, a lot of you guys were like, wait a minute, this is a real thing that I can actually do, right? But some of us have just gotten from there, some of us have stopped there, right? So this summit is designed to get you to the next step, right? From, oh, this is a thing I can do and I want to do it, to here's my plan. Here's my plan. Here's how I'm going to do it. Here's when. Here's how I'm going to get the money. Here's how I'm going to figure out the work situation. Here's how I'm going to do it, right? And here are my options. Here, we're going to talk about RV life. We're going to, because not everybody's sabbatical looks like going to Southeast Asia, right? So we're going to talk about different locations, including the US. And we're going to talk about RV life. And we're going to talk about what if you have family? How do you world school your kids? We're going to talk about world schooling. We're going to talk about it all, and not talk about it, right? Not just talk about it, but get your plan all the way together. So that's going to be September, late September. So I said all that to say, we'll talk about the money stuff, the business stuff, but probably not until after that's done, because Rashida's got me booked, scheduled out until then. So I don't have a lot of free time for August. Ms. Normalized Free Time, the queen of free time, has had to not shut out, but just cut down on free time. I'm going to go from about 12 hours a day of free time to about 6 hours a day of free time, which is a new thing for me. All right. Any other questions, friends? If not, we're going to shut it down. Our short 90-minute live stream. Yeah, because I have 30 minutes before Audacity's presentation. I want to go. So Audacity Festival is doing online stuff this year. Audacity is the festival that I spoke at last year. This year they're online, and I want to make sure that I get in there at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Jess. She said she won't tell Rashida. Thank you. Thank you. Rashida knows. She knows when she partners with me that I can't keep a secret. And I'm going to get super excited and tell people things. She already knows. Okay. All right. But don't forget about Tuesday. Like I said, if you want to get your questions to me ahead of time, get your questions to me ahead of time. Because I know that at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time is not ideal, but I need it to be at 6 o'clock. Queen is probably more flexible than I am, but the only way I could do it was to do it Tuesday at 6. Adelia, she's taking another career break. Yeah, Adelia's the queen of them. So I asked Adelia, I don't think I read that comment to you guys from the chat. I asked Adelia if she would consider herself retired now. She said she's just not working. And she'll dabble in some things to see what she likes. So that is the joy of free time. You get to try some stuff and see. Some stuff will just pop up and you'll be like, who knew? Who knew that I would like this? And you would never know if you didn't have that time. So Adelia's dibbling and dabbling. So we'll see what this turns into in Mexico City. I'm glad. I'm so glad for you. I was, so glad to see the picture of you guys on that airplane. You don't know. I've never been so happy to see a woman and her dog on the plane. And Mia is the most photogenic dog ever. She knows that she is being photographed. She is a good dog model. Audacity Fest, good question. It's like a, neither, but you can check them out at audacityfest.com. No Madness Travel Tribe is the host. And audacityfest.com. Check them out there. It's Audacity Digi. It's like digital. This is volume 2. They're calling it volume 2. They did a session last month and they're doing another session this month. Check them out. I think the tickets might still be $27. If they're not, don't be mad at me. And if it's too late to get tickets, because it's not like on YouTube or whatever, there are only so many tickets, only so many slots, because you're kind of like in even though you're virtual, you're like in a room, I don't know how to explain it. So if you're not able to get a ticket, I'll share as much as I can learn, as much as I can take notes on. I'm excited to hear about the Barbados remote worker visa. Barbados now has a visa for remote workers. Some other countries do too. Estonia, which is inexpensive, right? So it's like the opposite of Barbados. It's cold, but inexpensive. Barbados is warm and expensive. But maybe a person who works remotely could mix up the two visas and have long-term residency in, two amazing places in the world. So I'm excited to learn about that. They're having some people come on to talk about investing abroad, which I'm not interested in, but I know some other people who would be. So I'm going to take some notes on that. And they're going to talk about today, they're having the two people from Instagram, two Black Instagram employees are going to come and talk about it. So after I've finished bashing Instagram for business, I am going to sit through the session and see what they have to say. I'm not sure if they're talking about Instagram for business or what. I don't know. I just saw they work at Instagram. They're the reason for the Share Black Stories sticker. And they're talking today. So I'm going to attend those sessions this afternoon. So that's my plan. Thank you. Lovely Day 6 says she agrees with Tess. With Jess. Jess Tis, that's really hard to say. It's cute and it's really hard to say. I want to say Tess, but it's not. Jess Tis. Okay, she says, I agree with Jess. Stephanie, you're awesome. Signing up for Exodus Summit. Alert emails. Good. Okay, good. Yeah, make sure that you get the emails so that you'll know. If you're already getting my newsletter, you will be notified, of course. I will let you know. I believe in that. But if not, either way, it's still good to sign up for the summit. I'm so excited for it. Have to go. See you Tuesday. Great. Thank you. I think Lovely Day 6, I should have asked her that. I think that's Kathy, but I'm not sure. It's hard. Black women, we believe in using an alias. We're not going to be on the internet using our own name. So it's hard. I think that's Kathy. So that's it. I've talked until I've run out of things to talk about, which is hard. Not common for me. So again, I said it 100 times, but I appreciate you. I've said it a lot because I mean it. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you spending your time with me. And I appreciate you sharing with me and with us. And I'll see you again soon. And again, don't forget, if you have questions for Queen about her life in Lake Chapala, about why she chose it, why she's there, what her life is like there, you can ask your questions ahead of time. And I'll ask them, right? So you can ask them ahead of time if you can't join the live stream. I know that it's a bad time, but I'm sorry. It has to be. Okay? I'll see you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Happy August. Can you believe it? Good Lord. Happy August, friends. Bye. You too. Y'all enjoy your weekend too.